Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. This is the GSTL. We are here watching a match between oGs-TL and ZeNEX. There are their banner banners right there. And so far, we've already had one game, which was pretty cool. It was actually very close, and we actually had the person who both of us thought was going to lose end up winning the game. OGS Vines took game 1 of the series for oGs-TL, and he's going to be facing off against the Terran next in Jejun.
And Jejun has a really bad record against Protoss, which is a little bit why I'm surprised that he's actually the next player for ZeNEX. He lost the last 3 games that he played in competitive matches against Protoss players like MC. He lost against I think he lost against Guinea Pig as well,
yeah,
against NC, and who was the third one?
Tassadar he lost to recently in the ESV Weekly. And we're going to get into the game right now. Who's going to win? Is ZeNEX going to bring it to a tie, or will Vines get a mysterious 2-0 lead? And down here in the bottom left is our challenger. He put his quarter in to play the winner. It is none other than
ZeNEX, June!
He's struggling a little bit against Protoss, as you already mentioned, but this is the Team League and he has the chance to redeem himself. Maybe he's able to take down a player from OGS that is starting at the top right of the map, which is Cloud Kingdom in this second game of the day. And named Protoss player is none other than
oGs-TL.
So remember how I was saying before that Vines has only won 1 game versus Zerg in tournament play?
Yes. Do I really want to know what comes next?
He's won 0 games versus Protoss in tournament. Versus Terrans in tournament play.
It's a 100% record.
It's true. It's a 100% record. Unfortunately, it's a 100% lose rate instead of win rate there. Yeah. So Vines, can he bring another upset to his own statistics? We're gonna find out. And you know what? You know, OGS put him out there. Obviously, he's doing it better than we expected. It's possible he just, you know, has been practicing a lot and has really picked up his skills more than one would imagine.
And the map that we're seeing currently, I elaborated a little bit on this yesterday, but I want to throw it out again, as people might not have watched yesterday's games. If you didn't, make sure to check out the VODs on GOMTV.net, and definitely check out GOMTV.net/tickets in order to get a ticket for the current GSTL season, so you can watch the streams in HD. But Cloud Kingdom is one of the new maps, and there is a pretty cool interview on esfiworld.com where the interviewer is talking a little bit about how the map actually developed, how it was built, and what the general idea behind the map is. So if you want to have a quick look into the mind of a map maker or into the mapping community, then you might want to check out this interview and see how a map actually ends up in the GSTL.
You're talking about SV?
Yeah, I'm talking about ESFI.
Oh, okay.
You know them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, and by the way, we have had, this is kind of interesting that this is from the ESV Mac pool, because as we were just talking about, Jejun has actually played a lot of games in ESV tournaments, so he is probably going to be a lot more familiar with this map than Vines is, as a matter of fact.
Vines just finished his Nexus. He started with an very early Nexus, and wow, those Marines are doing a decent amount of damage. 1 probe down so far, killing his second one, the Hero SCV.
Trades a Marine for 2 probes. That's not a bad trade.
We've seen only 1 Terran vs Protoss game on this map in the GSTL so far. It was yesterday when we casted Oz, and well, Oz didn't have a good time. He lost very early against a pressure build.
He must have been so frustrated after that too.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, we do have, this is kind of a, like June was thinking he was going to be doing the same thing. He's like, oh, well, he fast expanded. I'm going to send Marines. I'm going to win the game, and then we're going to get 2 command centers. Didn't work out quite the same way, but he did put a little pressure on, and he is getting a third command center already, so sort of a parallel mimicry of the game from yesterday that we saw MMA win.
Yeah, but he's no MMA, and therefore he's not able to... Well, MMA didn't end it right there. The game dragged out for a little bit longer, but in the end, we have to say that Oz was so far behind that the game was basically over after the first couple of minutes. So, let's see what the ZeNEX player, what Jaejun is up to. He's already getting double gas, and yeah.
Yes, indeed, and both players pretty much macroing up, and they know that each other is expanding, and so they know that there's not too much of an imminent threat, so they're just kind of getting their stuff going. We do have a Twilight Council coming down.
Pretty early. From
our ZeNEX player, June. I'm sorry, from our Protoss player.
Vines. He seems to like his blink. He actually already has, like, how many gases does he have? He has 2 gases, taking 2 additional assimilators now, and about to finish his Twilight Council. And we have a Robotics Bay.
Interesting, so we might see...
Blink and Observer.
Yeah, Blink with Observers. Using the Observers, of course, to see the high ground so he can blink up into the main base or blink wherever he needs to.
He sure likes his Blink Stalkers, doesn't he?
Yeah, apparently. I wonder if he'll also go Blink Stalkers in PvP. Maybe it's the one build he does. 2 base Blink Stalkers in every matchup.
And at the same time, we already have the first Marauders being built for his opponent, for Jaejun. He's getting his first engineering bay as well, and is about, well, is researching Stim already, so let's see how effective that Blink Stalker build is actually going to be. Vines has both Xel'Naga watchtowers in the middle of the map, so he has a very decent read on what's happening, and therefore can obviously also deny scouting and make this Blink Stalker build all the more effective.
Yes, indeed. Quick, I want to correct myself really quickly. He did actually beat a Terran. Vines, he beat Nemchir in a FXO Invitational once, so I'm sorry. He's not completely zero. He's not 0% versus Terran in tournament play. He's just horrible.
We have Wines going for third base, by the way, and oh, nice! The probe has been scouted by the SCV. I'm not sure if he realized it, though. He didn't actually do anything about it, so that might be the warp in pile, and after all, the Observer is already on its way into the main base. Stim is not done just yet. Combat Shield is in the making, but has just been started. That's the third base coming up now for Jaejun, and still no pile in. The Stalkers are in position, though.
And he's at the very least going to delay this expansion from going up. Going after that factory. He says, take this, you dirty factory. Now he is going after the Marines, though. Oh, is he going to get a medevac? Oh, he does get the medevac. The medevac turned around for one moment instead of continuing running.
He's killed both of them.
Oh, he got both of it. Wow. I didn't even see him pick off that other one. That was, oh, that's what he went in, picked it off, and then blinked away.
Exactly.
Very smart. And now we have no healing ability at all for the Terran player right now. Of course, he's going to make 2 more medevacs. They're just popping out right now. But one of them is, rather. But
he delayed the third base a tiny little bit.
Delayed it a significant amount.
We have 3 bases now for Mines, while the third base for Jaejun is not in position just yet. He's trying to secure it with his Bio Forces. So far, he has added 2 additional medivacs, but the rocks are about to die. Well, let's have a quick look at the harvest account. We have 60 to 49. Slight advantage here for the OGS player. Don't forget about the mules. We have 3 potential mules for Jaejun.
Yep, that's true. Concussive shells being produced as well, being researched. And that's going to be pretty good. Obviously, not as good with Blink in the mix because the concussive shell slows those Stalkers down. But they can still blink away even when they're slowed. It's not like a fungal growth, which will keep them in place.
Mines has a pretty decent incap now. He's getting 2 forges. He will concentrate a little bit on his warp gate units and adding immortals as well, so he can counter the Marauders more efficiently. But at the same time, he can start with double upgrades, which is pretty cool. And it's usually hard enough for a Terran player to keep up with the upgrades of a Protoss, especially when you use all your Chrono boosts. So you have this timing window, this window of opportunity where your army is a lot stronger thanks to the upgrades, and the Terran player has to be really careful about it, especially because so far Jaejun hasn't been researching a single upgrade except for the +1 attack.
Oh, is he gonna get another medevac? Nope. I like that. Jaejun, he just stopped by and helped Vines take out his rocks. Vine was taking out the rocks, and Jaejun's like, here, let me help you with that. I'll take him down for you. A little bit of a poke fest going on there, but ooh, we have never mind. For a moment, there was a nuke on the production tab, but he canceled it and went with the Mobius reactor. Must have hit the wrong button. And but we do have a warp prism being created, and a robotics support bay, and a Templar archive. I think we're going to see speed shuttles with Templar in them.
The main problem that I see right now for our talent player from Team ZeNEX is that he didn't even start the +1 armor upgrade. He has no armory. His upgrades will be so late, while Vines is now completing +1/+1, and if he starts right away with the next set of upgrades, he will be so far ahead. Finally, the +1 attack armor upgrade being researched and the armory thrown down for Jaejun, but way too late. The whole time he had so many banked up resources he could have used, but just didn't.
Couple Zealots going in to harass that expansion again, and again being cleared out. It's been good though, I like that. Throwing in a few Zealots into the mineral line, cause some distraction. If you get just a couple of kills on the SCVs, it's worth it.
We have +2/+2 being researched for OGS Vines, and he is using his chrono boosts like crazy, adding 5 additional gateways. His gateway army will be so strong when those upgrades complete, even though we have ghosts on his opponents in his opponent's unit mix.
And ladies and gentlemen,
the nuke.
A nuclear missile is moments from completing, and he already has Cloak. Wow, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna see Cloak Ghost now. Of course, he does have observers on the map, but
yes, too.
If he doesn't have them in the right place, he's got nothing he can do about those Templar. I guess he could theoretically Storm. Actually, did he finish researching Storm?
He didn't even start.
He didn't start it yet. Okay. I didn't remember seeing Storm in there. Oh no! A Colossus gets misrallied and picked off. Where was that Colossus going? What was it doing? That was a little strange. Now, of course, another thing that we can have see here is Jun might scan to see if what is. Oh wow! Zealots! Oh! Zealots almost picked off the nuclear missile that was about to launch, and here he comes in. The nuke is landing on the main army there. He sees it now. He needs to get out. The Archons are sticking around a little bit too close, and nothing happens with that nuke. Some shields get taken off the...
But awesome timing. Look at the force fields. Really well done by Vines before he retreats. He's pulling down the force fields, and now ZeNEX Jaejun is walking up that ramp into sure that he's losing a lot of units. He needs to be very, very careful. 150 supply gets 125. Vines is dropping in supply, but still he has the Colossus in the back and a lot of Immortals, dealing beautiful with this attack. But is it enough? There's still so many Marauder. He might be cleared out. Finally, another set of warp is ready. Will the Colossus survive?
No! The Zealots warp in though. They're gonna try and take their pick at those very injured Marauders, and look at that. He says, you have no anti-air. Wait, he's dropping him back down to try and pick up the Colossus. Oh! Beautiful move. Drops the Marauders on top of the Colossus, the brand new one, and picks it off. Beautifully done. We do have 3/3 weapons and armor on the way for the Protoss, by the way, and +2 is only about to finish for the weapons. So we do have the Protoss ahead on upgrades, but wow.
But the most amazing thing, I think it was just really well done, was when the nuke was placed down, ZeNEX Jaejun was actually trying to get up this ramp and therefore trying to nuke the top of the ramp in order to make Vines retreat, but Vines waited long enough, went in with 1 sentry and just put down a couple of force fields.
Yeah, that was nice.
That helped him to get control of the ramp again after the nuke was over.
Yeah, exactly, because then otherwise, if he'd had a much larger space, the Terran would have been able to get a lot more DPS down and would have been able to win even more in that battle. Wow, those medevacs are really vulnerable here. Archon chasing them all.
And even though Vines lost a lot of units in that last encounter, it was really, really a close call to hold it off. He lost 2 Colossus as well. He's now on 4 bases. He has a very decent economy. He's pulling ahead in supply slowly but steadily. 3/3 is halfway done, while ZeNEX Jaejun is just now about to complete his +2 armor upgrade. Very decent upgrade lead therefore for Vines, and he is trying to harass his opponent's expansion once again. constantly warping in zealots with that one pylon at the bottom right.
Yes, indeed. And 3-3 moments from completing for the Protoss, who, by the way, I was wrong about speed shuttles with Templar. It was, in fact, the other way around. He's actually using the Templar Archives to get Archons, and so his ground army is going to be really beefy. I should have realized that because he's getting such strong ground upgrades that he might be getting some Archons. So those Archons are going to be super buff.
Plus,
they're going to take so much damage.
3-3 upgrades are done now. We have Jejun starting to research his plus 3 attack upgrade as well, but if Vines attacks right now, he still has a very nice upgrade advantage, not even plus 2 armor done for Jejun, the Terran player coming in with another nuke, nice nuke hitting all the zealots. But the fight is going to start in just a few seconds. The Terran player is trying to drag it out a little bit more.
And here he goes in though. The Zealots leading the charge. The Stalkers are in the back. Colossus coming in though, forcing him to retreat. The Terran is on the run, hardcore, and as he runs, he keeps getting shots taken of him. The Stalkers blink in, take it out, and I think this third base is definitely going to die. OGS Vines is on a roll, taking out this base, and is moments away from securing his second victory in a row.
The upgrades come into play, his huge army as well, and with all these great area effect units, he is just obliterating player from Team ZeNEX. We have nothing to deal with the Colossus, and therefore no chance whatsoever for Jejun to take down Vines. He's dropping in supply, and OGS Vines is securing another win for his team.
Wow. All right, so, you know, oftentimes we'll talk about how a player is good at a matchup based on statistics, and we'll say, but stats aren't everything. It's always important to keep that in mind. It's just a guideline to kind of gauge how a player is doing. Apparently, stats mean nothing to OGS Vines, coming out with 2 wins in matchups, which he is horrible at, statistically speaking.
Well, one game is a pretty bad sample.
Well, one game is a bad sample, yes, but saying, overcoming the odds, winning a couple games, and now oGs-TL has already gotten 2 wins ahead without using any of their big guns.
Yeah, exactly. So their last game was actually pretty nice, and I really liked how he defended the ramp. I really liked the move with the sentry, that he dragged it out a little bit longer, that he stayed in the radius of the nuclear missile and just went in before the missile, was able to kill the units. He just retreated with the units, then one single sentry in order to force field the ramp before retreating, and therefore the Terran player couldn't charge up the ramp as soon as the nuke was done.
Yeah,
and that was a really
really nice. That was a really cool move, because that's what the point of the nuke was. He didn't think he was going to actually hit the army. It was positional to force him out of position so he could get in there into the position he wanted. Very nice tactical nuke there, but very well played by Vines, countering that strategy.
And it's going to be pretty hard now for ZeNEX. The air is getting really thin. And who is left for them? Let's have a quick look.
They do have a few players left on their roster. Avenge is a player who's been kind of getting his name out there lately. Might be able to put him in. He is a Protoss player, so I'm not sure if they're going to do that. They have, of course, these unknown players like Sparta and Pet, that who knows what they're capable of. They might be thrown in here as well.
We've seen Mushroom in leagues as the KSL, at least a couple of his games. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. They have to defeat a Protoss player. They have one last Zerg player in the lineup, which is Pat. So, well, let's see if they're going to use him. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's definitely going to be a tough one. Vines was able to defeat the strongest players in Team ZeNEX up to now. So now it's up to the youngsters.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to find out in just a moment here who they're going to pick. Who is ZeNEX going to pin all of their hopes on for a comeback? It is this player. It is Avenge, indeed. We saw him kind of pointing at himself and nodding his head confidently a moment ago on screen. And it turns out he is, in fact, their pick.
And Motrip, you will get your wish. You will get to see if Vines is using the same Blinkstalker build in PvP.
That's true. Yep, Avenge, newly in Code A. Actually, I'll have to double check if he was in Code A a while ago or not, but I seem to remember hearing his name before, but I'll double check on that. But yeah, he is in Code A this season, which is, you know, I mean, that's actually really worth something. It's really difficult to get into Code A these days. The qualifiers are so tough. So we're going to be able to see what he is made of before his Code A debut in the next couple weeks.
And I just got the message, apparently, obviously not the nuke hit the Zealots, but the EMP.
Yes.
I think that's
I was a little confused because I was like, wait, there was a nuke? What? I missed it? I love nukes. I hate when I miss the nuke, but I figured that's what you meant.
It was kind of obvious that I just mixed up the word, I guess.
No, it's fine.
That would have been one strange nuke. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading into the game. We have a PvP coming up on Antigua Shipyard. ZeNEX against oGs-TL.